Hello students and welcome to my channel. Today as we have already started the chapter 4 about the political. So today we have already completed. So next we have the another chapter, this is chapter 5, which is a very important chapters, and the title of the chapter is gender and equality. So here you will be able to hear about the gender associated inequalities in the society, and a second point we will talk about the gender based stereotypes, and a third one is gender equality in a democracy. So these are the important parts that we will be talking about in this video. So here you must have heard about the terms gender, that is being a boy or a girl is an important part of who are actually we are. Now, beginning from the moments the child is born, he or she is labeled as a boy or a girl. This label actually determines the identity of the child and who they are. Now, what they will become, where they can go, then where not, the various occupations options available to them, physical capabilities, and so on. So, for example, boys are considered competitive, exploitative, and aggressive, and girls are seen as tender and polite. So these are the mentality that the society in fact is possessing even today. So when we talk about the gender, especially boys and girls, now let us talk about the context of our society. Now, how does our society look into this matter, especially when we talk about the a gender, especially like a girls? So most probably most of the societies are actually considering the girl child is not that much important, and then there is a very less importance is given to such a this gender. And you can see that there are some of the examples that has taken place even in the society where we are living. So most of the time the woman or the girl child is actually abused, or maybe for the different activities, and also for many other areas where the women are actually lagged behind due to the society's mentality. So therefore here we can see that how we can bring about the woman or the girl child in the society. So some of the things we can discuss through this video. So here by nature we understand that a boy is actually physically capable, and so many things are actually possibilities there in the case of the boys, because his health actually indicating about the challenge. But in the case of the girls, we consider that the girl is very tender, and they are very polite. But that is depends upon the because your physical this, is not fit, not exactly like a boys, but it is a we can take the just a new generation. For example, in a gym, most of the boys and girls today, they are going to the gym, and then they are doing their exercises, and they are increasing the muscle, and then possibility is there even the girl also can become like a boys muscle wise, or maybe the stamina wise. The girl also can do many things. So therefore what we have to see that it is the mentality of the society, that society is always looking at the girl as a tender and a polite, but there is a possibility is there, and a girl can become very much like a strong, and a very in every field they can become smart, just like a boys. So that is the thing actually in reality we are able to see. So today most of the games, Olympic games, or Asian games, or the worldwide the games what is actually conducted today, most of the girls are very skillful in their work activity. And today, for example, society may say something about the girl, and they may think that these girls are actually what type of dress code they are wearing, and coming out and playing. It is the mentality of the people, that people have got very narrow mentality. The society which they are growing, in fact they are very narrow mentality. So today that narrowness is not going to work out, the narrowness is not going to develop, because as long as you have the narrow-minded, as long as you have the as long as you are giving less importance on girl, then your society will never develop. Rather, the society will be remain as a staunch. A society will remain like a miss a underdevelopment. So that's why the girls, especially girls, should be given the opportunity to this in this today's world. So therefore, like in the village setup, we have seen that most of the families, in fact, they may send the boy child to the school, but for the girl child, they keep the at home to work their domestic activities and looking after the children, looking after their siblings. So like that, and as a result, the girl wants to get married, then in the place of her husband house, many like harassment, many type of insults, many types of like punishment is given by the in-laws and all, and their husbands and their neighbors and children even. Why? Because the girl is uneducated and she is not acquired certain amount of knowledge which is really needed for the family. So that is whose fault, in fact. It is the fault of the guardian. It is the fault of the parents who actually not given important on girls. So therefore today the guardian and parents have to think of that boy and girls should be given the equal opportunity, equal education, and an equal amount of like investing money on them, so that in future the girls future will become better, and in the family even after settling also the girl will take care of the family better way. So acquire this acquire this particular knowledge, so that the girl child will never be suffering to the their in-laws house. So that is we have to think of as a guardian and as a parent today. Okay, so therefore through this chapter, especially gender and equality, when we talk about, so how far the equality is actually given important to the girl child, actually that matters on the society. If the society is very narrow and a society is actually thinking about the girl child is not that much important, then certainly that society will not feel anything welfare of the girl child. And as a result of that, you can see that there are many of the families are actually ruining the life of the girl child. So that is we have seen most of the time. So therefore you can see, as per the socially accepted ideas associated with the gender, you see the children learn their supposed actions, behaviors, choices and occupations. Okay, and then these ideas actually tend to be fixed and cannot be easily changed. So thus gender is a socially constructed idea that prescribes social and cultural roles of the males and females as per their biological identities. So today you can't simply say that my society doesn't allow, my society is preventing this one. If this is the cases, then perhaps the one group of people, especially one group of gender, will be remaining weaker and weak, and they will never become up. So therefore today we have to think of the society where we live in. We have to make people aware about it. We have to make people scientifically, we have to give the instructions to the society, and whatever the narrow-minded society you belong to, but you have to show the examples of the different countries of women, how they are actually coming out, how they are actually in the position, how they are in the power, how these women are actually able to do a great job, great things for the country. How there were many of the women have actually contributed their life for the betterment of the society and betterment of the country. So those examples we need to bring into the focus of the people who are narrowly actually thinking about the girl child. Okay, so this is we have to think of. So therefore it depends upon the society where the girl is not given importance, then surely the girl will not develop. And depends upon the society where the girl is given important, and then a girl is developing. And so that is we can sign. It may say today, for example, in the rural setup, most of the girls in fact is deprived of that opportunities, deprived of the education, and rather they are actually involved in the domestic work, and they are actually victimized even sometimes in the domestic violence even. So therefore this is one of the areas we have to think of. So, however, these roles actually vary across communities around the world, and they also tend to undergo change over a period of time. So it means gradually a person is suffering, gradually a person is getting hurt, gradually a person is insulted. Then from that particular insult, a person learns, and that is actually the experience. And people who are learning from the experience, they become gradually better by looking the examples of the other communities and other societies. So therefore, so let us know about the formation of gender stereotypes. Now, what is the formation of gender stereotypes? Now, the prefixed qualities and behaviors associated with the boys and girls lead to the emergence of gender stereotypes. Now, the most common form of gender stereotype can be seen when people ask their young boys not to cry like a girls. So this is they start. It means when a boy child is crying, then people are saying that why you are crying like a girl. It means girl cries for anything, say anything needed for the girl. Then that is actually the behavior. The boy child suppose when the boy child is crying. So how narrow way of thinking people has got, isn't it? So anyway, you can see there. So it is because that people have a prefixed notion about boys and that they are stronger than girls. So it means you can understand that people consider boys stronger than the girls, and therefore he should not cry. And if he cries, then people will treat him as like a, oh, you are like a girl, you are crying like a girl. So this kind of like a mentality the people actually putting forward sometimes. So in most societies, including our own gender stereotypes, lead to the preference of males to females, and the resultant, you can see, unequal value of the efforts of men and women. The birth of a female child is often considered a burden on parents. This is very much like a sin. It means the society will not allow the girl child to come out in a flying color. The society will not allow the girl child to go for the education. The society will not allow the girl child to be exposed with the world, to be familiar, but they will be putting them in a pressure, and then they will be preventing them from doing so. And that's why it is good when a girl child is actually pressurized or kept aside from all these development areas, skills, then certainly the girl child will be easy to pressurize, easy to torture, easy to insult. Okay. Once the girl child is not given the opportunity, it means there will be very easy for the men to suppress the woman. But once the girl will be educated, knowing the rights, knowing the world, knowing the familiar with the other part of the world, then you can't simply go and argue. The girl will give you the answers. Okay. So that's why it is very important the girl child should be educated and should be familiar with the world. Okay, so therefore you can find, due to that, some people are feeling that a girl child is a burden. Why they are feeling that it is a burden? Because they are not, they have not seen the world. They have not gone out of the world. They have not seen from the society out. They are not actually plunging. They are not launching themselves to the other part of the people, other part of our communities, how they are actually working, how the girl childs are actually going to the school, colleges, and they are becoming the professor, they are becoming the engineers, they are becoming the ministers, they are becoming MLA, and so many things they are and developing the society. So these things they are not focusing on. Therefore, they consider the girl child as a burden. So therefore, such kind of people should be come into focus. And we must highlight some of the good things that is actually the girls are doing in this world, so that these people will be coming into the enlightenment. Okay, then therefore the society which is, or the family which is considering the girl child as a burden, this society being a like a frog in the well, they will consider the girl child should not be live. So they will do what type of things practice they will do, that is the female infanticide. It means from the child onwards they will kill the girl child, they will murder the girl child, and either in the mother's womb, or maybe after the birth the girl child will be killed. So that is the society actually is done, and also some societies are still doing right now. In this 21st century also, we can hear about the different the events and the accidents we have seen. Okay. So therefore, in many families, girls are actually denied their rights to education, food, and employment opportunities, and they are restricted. They are restricted to the interior of their homes and domestic work. So, owing to the unpaid nature of domestic work, people also devalue the efforts of women. So, since society is not considering the women as important, therefore, therefore you can see that the work activity what is done by the women are not considered as a work activity. So therefore they are actually devalue the efforts. Okay. So therefore, even in public places, the efforts of women are not considered to be the equal value as that of their male counterparts. So they think, the society think maybe the whatever the male is doing, man is doing, that is actually the important part. But if the same work activity is done by woman or girl, that will be not considered. They are not giving the value. So that is the mentality the people has got from the in the society. So payment as a disguised labor on farms, then in houses, and you can see there in villages especially, they work without payments as a disguised labor on farms, in houses, in household industries. And in cities, most of them are actually restricted to certain types of jobs, such as like nursing and teaching. It means they are not allowing. Family members will not allow that you do this kind of work. So women all over the world also face violence in private and public spheres. Then at a home, some women experience domestic violence and dowry abuse. Every day, one hears about cases of teasing, molestation, and sexual abuse against women in the public spheres. So such instances often raise questions on the security of a section that constitutes half of the society. So this is how actually we see in the case of the women. So let us know about the gender and democracy. Now the government understands that the status of women needs to be improved, and thus has taken a number of initiatives to introduce positive chances in our society. Now see, it has introduced various schemes and programs to encourage the enrollment of girls in schools under the National Literacy Mission. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and Sakshar Bharat Abhiyan have been actually launched to improve the female literacy rate of our country. So the girls from a disadvantaged families are actually encouraged to attend school by offering cash incentives, then building hostels and toilets, and providing other facilities for their overall well-being. So this is the government is trying to make right now. And then they have started to outshine boys in various fields such as sports, academics, and administration. So today, a person who is educated can do so many great things for the country. So therefore, we have to see that. So in order to eradicate abusive practices against women, such as like a women infanticide, domestic violence, sexual abuse, the government has actually introduced various campaigns and stringent laws. For example, Save Girl Child campaign has been launched to eradicate the practice of female infanticide, and the National Commission for Women has been set up to look into the matters of violence against women. And the Ministry of Women and Child Development has been specifically given the responsibility to ensure the development of women and also children in the country. So in spite of that, you can see some violence has been taken place, okay, in this country. So however, let us not neglect the girl child. Rather, we have to focus on them and should give the equal opportunities, and we should educate our girl child always, and we must take care of them. Then only they can take care of us. So this is we have to keep in mind.